Namaste. I've been working on a lot of movements and mobility for the big toe with my classes this week, and I promised I would have a video how to create some more mobility in the feet, especially for the toes. So today's video is all about feet, all about toes. There's some things that we can do. I'll show you a few things. I'll be standing up, so you probably won't see me. My head will be cut off, but mainly focusing on our feet. So we'll all stand up, and first thing is gauge, the way you naturally stand. If you tend to put more weight forward, if you tend to put more weight into your heels. So first thing, we want to start quite a simple one. So I'm going to go sideways and then show you. I'm trying to put weight in the front two edges, corners, and then the back heel, so like a triangle. And I'm going to try and keep my foot stable. I'm going to use my back foot just to stabilize me as well. This first one is simple. Under the lateral arch, or the part underneath the toes, that's where I'm going to have the weight, and I'm going to pick up my heel slowly, actively, till the point I can feel a good amount of pressure, but not too much. And each of us will be different, so I'm going to put that pressure that feels good. Mainly I'm focusing on the toes. Obviously I'm feeling in my calf, my ankle, but rolling from the little one to the big toe, just through the whole of the toe box, in and out, in and out. So that's one. And the other one is from the tops. Now this one, again, depending how you are on this journey of exploring the mobility of your toes, you might find this a bit hard. So go slow, top of the toes, and slowly roll over the top. So I've been doing this for a while, so for me can put some pressure. And this is a foot, by the way. I've had surgery on this foot, so I've had to work really slowly over time. So I'm putting pressure and I'm giving it a little stretch back and forth from the tops of the toes. So you can do that. You can repeat that on both sides, maybe 1 or 2 times. The other way to do it, it's a little bit more strong, which I do teach in my classes, is tops of the toes. Just have them light. Bring your palms on the floor and then start to gently stretch. So here there is weight, but not too much weight. And then if you want more weight, you start to put more weight into the toes. And I'm using the weight of the hands to kind of push the floor away, which actually creates more weight on the toe box on both feet. So leaning forward, putting the weight, and then you can also play with that side to side movement. This way you get both feet together at one time. And then the other part that I showed was you can go on the top of the feet. You can just rest and then just give it like 30 seconds and then come off it. The next one, this one's a bit hard to do, so just rolling back and forth, rolling back and forth on the top of the toes. So that is another option. Now let me show you something which creates movement in the big toe, and then the rest 4. The 4 are a unit, 1 big toe is the 1 unit. So we'll start by grounding. Really important here to consider that centeredness of your feet, especially when you'll notice you'll tend to want to roll, or automatically you'll roll. So first thing, I'm going to look down, stand tall, look down, and then focus on lifting the big toes off the floor. Now each of us are going to have a completely different range available to us, whatever your range. So watch out for this. So suppose I'm restricted in my range, and then I might tend to roll my feet out to the outer edges of the feet. That can happen. So avoiding that, trying to imagine something's just lifting those big toes. Maybe you've got a little movement. Maybe one is more than the other. It doesn't matter. We get there slowly. Practice this every day and release. Now the next one's trickier. You got to lift, ground these big toes down and lift the rest up. So we'll try first doing it actively, meaning without support. I'm going to try and raise my 4 little toes off the floor. So I'm trying hard to stand straight. And if I show you from the side, trying to avoid putting the weight just in. So if I wasn't watching out for that, I'd probably be rolled over to my inner arch and then lifting, which kind of takes away the work from the toes itself. So I'm trying to ground heavily through the big toe heel and the whole of the lateral arch, and then lifting just the 4 toes off the floor. So it's limited how much I can do here, but still I can feel it. I can actually feel the whole of the top of the foot doing the work here, coming up. And what I really like about this is it does activate the arch of the foot, which is a problem for a lot of us. So activating that arch, lifting those toes, right? So that's another one. There's another way to do this with passive support of a block. You could use anything that's kind of shaped like a block or books. But basically, I'm going to lift my big toe and place it on top of the block, just the big toe. And then the rest are going to face the side. So here I've created that same shape. I'm just using the support of something that's off the floor. Stand with both knees soft. And then here what we could do is, you can think about lifting and dropping the heel slightly up and down to create a little bit of that, use of that block to help us create this movement up and down. The other way would be then taking the 4 toes. So this one's a tricky one. Get the toes on top. I have to do extra work to make sure that my last 2 are on the block and working as well. The big toe is facing the side of the block. And the same movement, up and down, a little bit soft knees. So not rushing it, trying to, take your time, get those toes on the block, and then do that. And make sure you repeat it on both sides. So that's one more. The other one, which is great, so this one's a bit subtle, hopefully you can see it in the camera. So I'm grounding my full foot down, and I'm grounding my big toe box down. I'm picking up my heel like tiny bit, and I'm picking up the toes tiny bit. This is great for if you have bunion issues. By the way, all these are great if you have bunion issues. So you're going to think about rotating your hip externally. So I'm rotating the hip externally, grounded my big toe, the little toes are off, heel is off, and I'm slowly creating separation, if you can see, between the big toe and the rest. Right there is the separation I'm trying to create as I'm rotating the heel out. And then let's do it this side. So again, grounding big toe, heel up, little toes slightly off. And then I'm thinking not just from, especially not knee, not ankle, thinking the whole hip rotation, and I'm creating separation. This one's got a lot more, almost like 2 fingers. Separation between the big toe and the little toe. So rolling that heel in and then hip out. So that's another really good one to do, especially for bunions. So if you have, especially with bunions, you'll have one toe kind of going on top of the other toe, which is, well, was my problem, and I'm still working on it, even post-surgery. So a couple other things to share. So these are things that I use in my life for my feet. One is the brim or wide brim shoes. I've had these years. I think I've had them more than 8 years. I've had these I have 3 pairs. I walk around in these, and I also run in these. These have a little more tread. So anything wide toe box. Next time I'm trying to get my hands on Vivo shoes, or my feet on Vivo shoes, which are great as well because they're a wide toe box and minimal, sort of soles of the shoes. So these are what I use generally for myself. I go to yoga class and I wear these, and when I go teaching, and when it's cold, I just put socks inside. And you can buy socks. And by the way, these, which you probably see, these are toe socks. By the way, I'm not getting paid by any of these people to sell their products. I just use them, so I'm sharing with you. This was given to me by my lovely friend, and I don't practice in these. I don't do yoga in these because I find it best to do bare feet, but I do use these socks. They're brilliant. Again, if you want to walk around at home instead of slippers, use these socks. It will force your toes to stay separate. It does work a lot. The other thing I love called Happy Feet. And you actually just looked it up on Amazon. You can buy them for £5 on Amazon. And I go to bed pretty much every night, and it was a habit I had developed and then dropped, and I brought it back some time back. And what you do is you wear these, it's kind of like a pedicure-ish looking thing, right, when they separate your toes out for painting them. So this is what your feet look like, and it's kind of nice because they keep my feet warm as well. I have to say, if you're not used to this, it won't feel great. As in, you'll wear it, and within the first, say, 2 minutes, 5 minutes tops, your feet will ache and you want to get them out, and that's okay. You take them off. Start gradually. What I do is I go to bed with these. So happy feet. Hopefully, I mean, definitely makes a difference. Separates those toes out and really helps. Actually, it helps my achy feet as well. So once I got used to these, that's when I started to wear them 10, 15, sometimes longer. I fall asleep and I wake up in the night and I still have them on, and then I'll just take them off. So start by doing these little tiny things, right? Maybe 5 minutes in your day. If you suffer from, issues in your back, hips, things like that, start at the bottom. Start with your feet. Or if you just have bunions, or you just want, to have healthier base, right, feet, start with these little things and see how it works. I hope you like the video. If you do, let me know, and I'll be posting some more videos over time. Thank you very much.